Hey, Trey Campbell here, coming at you with another trading recap video. This is March 14th, 2019. Great, wonderful trading day, and I'm getting ready to go over the exact trades that I took and why I took them. So let's jump right into it. So the first trade I took this morning was YM/YM. It was a futures trade. Actually, I take that back. The first trade I took today was actually GE. It was a stock that I shorted this morning for a little bit of money. But for futures reference in Nadex, this is my first trade. And if you'll look exactly where I nailed it here, I actually had a really good trade on it. And the reason being is we had, or the reason I liked it, we had this nice retrace back up to the value area high, which also, if you measure this is the 61.8 retracement. So it was just a perfect retrace trade, and then we had value area. So it worked out really, really good, and nailed the short there and wrote it down. Took it for like $100 bill. So that was the first trade. It was quick. It was easy. And also, realistically, the only reason I took that is because I had two really good reasons to jump in right there instead of waiting. But right here was a fantastic entry as well. So either entry would have been good. I took this one just because we were right there at that 61.8 retracement, and it worked out really good. So let's move on. So the second trade I was in this morning was gold. This was a big money trade for me. I went in really big because we were so overdone, and it paid well. Made like $400 on this one trade. And basically what happened was we dumped right here before the open, and we retraced back up, and then we fall back down. We got oversold. This Keltner here, we're oversold, and then we just double bottom. So I basically loaded up about right here. Once I saw this candle form, we started pushing up. I bought 15 contracts right here and rode them up, and then sold them for $400 right there. Boom, easy trade. And the reason this trade was so cool, and I realistically could have bought as many contracts as I wanted because I had so much confidence in it. See this 1.5 this deviation right here. We are so oversold at this point. We've moved past negative 1.5 to -2, -2.5, and -3. So by my entry right here, I have in the 90% chance that this trade is going to close at least above this 2 deviation right here, or this 2.5. 2.5 deviation is pretty good, but statistic wise, so. And then if you wanted to, you could have gotten some in the monies right down here. I didn't. I just jumped in here and then at the money and wrote it up and took profit. It was an easy trade, $400. Love trades like this when the market's opening and they're already, or they sold off overnight, or the opposite, they skyrocketed overnight, because you can get into some territory where these odds are just really good. So your confidence level can really go up trading them. And then the third trade was crude. This one was for $100 as well. I had a perfect entry, and I want you to pay attention to these entries here, man, because this is where it's at. So we moved up into this plus 0.5, and the reason why I like the plus 0.5 is if we zoom out on the 4-hour chart here, you'll see. So this plus 0.5 is right there. We're already overbought. We're above this Keltner. We're right there at this plus 0.5. We're moving up into it. All I need is a viable entry. So to short this. So what did I do? So we came up, we touched it. Now realistically, I would love to had jumped in right there and or just set a limit order and got tagged in, and that'd have been some really quick money. However, I'm trying to get past that, unless it's like that YM trade that I showed you, where the retracement and you've got, you know, underlining things that can support your claim to jump in on the first leg. If you only have you know, one thing or so, just this overbought plus 5 here, the best alternative is to wait for this thing to cycle and then give you another leg up and then short that leg that's underneath this last high. And, you know, this is such a repeatable pattern. It happens all the time. The problem is we as people don't have patience to wait on these patterns. But these patterns emerge all day long. You just have to be patient and wait on them. If you wait on this one pattern right here and play it, your win rate will skyrocket. Especially if you've got a good edge. You know, you've already looked at the 4 hour. You know where this plus 0.5 is sitting. You know, and then this comes back up. Boom. And that's what I did. I nailed this candle right here, and I got in right here somewhere, and I wrote it down and made $100. So all in all, on these 3 trades was a $600 day. And then, you know, I traded some. I traded GE this morning for a couple $100, and that was $800 day. So that brings my total to for the week $1,800 on the week, which is great considering last week I ended up like $500 with that losing day. I was up very good, and then I had a pretty good losing day, so it knocked me back down. And then so I'm up at 1,800, and I've got still Friday to trade. Hopefully we can knock it over this 2,000 mark, and so on and so forth. So yep, that's it. That's all I got. That's my recap. I hope somebody can learn something from this, and till next time, take care.